Hello, my friends over at Face to Face Games. This is Travis Semulin Sowers, and we're nearing the end of AFR drafts, and I'm still kind of having a good time with the set. There's still plenty of decks to draft. I'm happy. I've been more than happy playing 18 lands and mana sinks. You can draft aggro decks. You can venture through the dungeons. I don't think this will go down in history as really anybody's favorite set, but I don't think it's been that bad. Which is saying something. We've had some bad sets now and then. But I'm glad to see you guys and gals here. I hope that you enjoy the video, and do check out Face to Face Games for good deals on cards and stuff and games. They're good people. They sponsored this video. I wouldn't be making it and you wouldn't be watching it without them. And here we go. We've opened Minsk, which is a pretty good card. And I think I might pass it, because it's kind of hard to cast. How much are you guys and gals going to hate me if I pass it? You're probably going to hate me a little bit if I pass it, aren't you? See, the thing is, the Chaos Channeler I know is going to be good. It's going to consistently be good. I'm never going to have a hard time casting it. But, you know, for the sake of fun and it being towards the end of a format, I think we probably take Minsk. I don't think I've done a Minsk deck. I've taken this in like pack 3 when I was already green-red and had great fixing. So let's do it and have some fun. What the heck? If I can make it work, we'll make it work. Now, if what happens here is the same as what usually happens on stream, I gotta get past a bunch of amazing blue cards and ignore whatever I first pick and just draft blue things. So I'm kind of suspecting that's what we'll be doing. But I suppose it's possible that we could try to make it work. So we'll just try and have some fun. So here's where the good blue cards start, with a Charmed Sleep and a Jin Windseer, and these are good blue cards. I think I can respect Burning Hands as a pick here, because when blues open in this particular format, it's mostly because people just want draft it, so you really don't have to fight them for it. You'll just notice it all coming back around. And I think I'd most be interested in splashing this in green-red. Because you know, my actual least favorite deck, now that this format is sort of settling, and most people are looking back and kind of done with it, I think red-white was my least favorite deck. I had a lot more wins with blue-green and blue-white even. I think red-white was just my least favorite deck, because it was kind of just equipment was really all it had going for it. That was pretty much it. Now, third pick Magic Missile is saying that I could potentially do red things. And interestingly enough, like, go back and imagine that we'd taken the Chaos Channeler. Doesn't this deck look like it's in a much better position? So I think that actually was the pick. And if we're at the, you know, I used to say if we're at the Pro Tour, I guess they don't really do those anymore. If competitive drafting existed and we were competitively drafting, I still would have taken the Chaos Channeler. But it doesn't, we're not, so we'll have some fun now and then. I've just recently finished up my stream for the day where we had a preview card for the new Innistrad set, and I'm pretty excited about that. It'll be interesting to see what that limited format is going to shake out and look like. Now here we have a Spoils of the Hunt, a Druid class, an Aberrant Mind Sorcerer, and an Evolving Wilds. If we are serious about splashing the Minsk, we should probably take the Evolving Wilds. But I'm still not going to. I think the best card is the Spoils of the Hunt, and we want it. It is precious to us. Now, I know word on the street is this card ain't good, but it's better than this. I do end up siding it out a good number of times, but it's better than fifth pick. Come on, y'all. So I've got removal spells spread around in 3 colors. I've got Hand of Vecna, which I can pretty happily play in whatever deck. And we've got a hard to splash and use, but good rare card. I suppose mythic rare card. I still feel like I'm going to get dragged into like blue-red or blue-green at some point. Is this the pack that does it? No, this might be the pack that solidifies me in Gruul colors with this Happen Upon a Glade. Like, at that point, I just need to find creatures. The splash is enabled. The deck's kind of set up. I love you Happen Upon a Glade, right? Like, it's a divination when you need one that draws you exactly what you need. Lands. And if it's gone later in the game, you just drew a second copy of your best creature, but you have to pay 3 extra for it, which seems fine to me. So I feel like we're probably grueling it now. We're probably grueling it and splashing Minsk pretty happily. Because, like, I assume if red's open adjacent, I'll have a treasure token laying around. So, like, the Glade, 1 plains, and a treasure token ought to be plenty. Not to mention there's an Evolving Wilds, but I can't take it because there's still a Spoils of the Hunt. I will eventually get creatures. I don't exactly know where they're going to come from, but I don't have to. Because right now our curve is Minsk on 3. Man, drafting at night's a whole different experience than drafting during the day. I guess people at night don't want removal? Or something? Back in my day, you first picked the removal spells, and we liked it that way. So here's where things get really interesting. This is pick 8. And that Windseer is still there. That is the top blue common. It's probably the best blue. It is the best blue common. Charm Sleep's pretty close, but the Windseer is definitively better. It will win you more games. There is a solid chance that I'm just supposed to be green-blue anyway. After the whole frickin' draft, all this conversation about Minsk, like look what's continuing to come back. Like, here's a Conjurer. That's ramp. I don't want to do this, but I feel like they're making me. If nobody at the table wants to take the blue cards, I'll take the blue cards. This is pick 10, and there's a Charmed Slave. This is the second best blue common. Kind of by a lot. So what we've ended up with is probably more likely to do this. So sorry to disappoint Minsk fans. I wanted to. But I also really like winning. That's like one of my favorite things to do in Magic. Huge fan of winning. I always want 1 copy of Cursed Idol. I also feel like I kind of don't have to take it here, but I'm still gonna. It's super valuable. And I'll keep the plan like it is possible we open something incredibly good in red and I decide to force it anyway. But I guess the end result of this format was nobody wants to play blue. This is usually better in green-white. I've played it in blue-green before. We are currently building towards a deck where Hand of Vecna is not going to be very good. But last pick. This is another really good blue common. And it's going last pick. I think I'm just at a table where nobody will draft blue cards. Which means we probably want to begin taking the blue cards quite seriously. The Happen Upon a Glade is a little less valuable here unless we start getting mega expensive things to do, like a couple of 6-drops. That's not crazy difficult to do in blue. There's a 6-drop Mana War variant. There's a Giant in green, which I think we would be interested in. I think the Apprentice is probably the right call here, although I don't love the card. But like, I think we figured out our color pair. And we're just continuing to get good stuff for it. I'm halfway tempted to grab this and see if we can get an Aberrant Mind Sorcerer and just do the freaking thing, because that's funny to me. And it is late in the format. But I think the best card here is probably the Outlander. There's a decent chance we wheel Gretchen or meet in a tavern. We should wheel that. We probably won't, because somebody else will be like, lol, let's do it. There's the Mana War variant I mentioned, and I definitely do want one of those. I don't really want to be picking it quite this early. But like if you were looking for the red cards that we would be comparing this to, like it's just way lower on the totem pole. Yeah, this is a little higher than I want to be taking this, but I know what deck I'm playing and this goes in it. Huh. I was not expecting Targnar. Which leads me to believe that green, while green-red may technically be open, red isn't open. So what that means is everybody's drafting black-red. Probably a huge surprise to those of you who have been following Adventures in Forgotten Realms, but black-red's pretty popular. So I'm just going to take the Null Hunter. I think we know where we're going. Probably not going to play the hand. I could play Prosperous Innkeeper. I don't love the card. Because this pack all of a sudden, like, destroys all of my assumptions. I could also just take a few gems. All right, keep passing me the red cards. Let's talk. I'll move back. Maybe I was wrong. I don't think I was wrong. I feel like I'm playing cards with my sister's kids. This is not at its best in blue-green. There are a few dice rollers, but there's not very many. And we don't have very many. I think if we're going to continue to do blue-green, we take the Investigator. Okay, there's another 6, which I'm not opposed to. There's also a Spy, although we don't really have a way to force the Spy through. And it does not often connect on its own. I think the first Horde Gorger is a little more important to me. And it's worth noting that we've still got the ability to splash anything we want. I just haven't seen anything I really want to splash. More ramp is fine. You can use that to draw cards. We've kind of got another 6-drop here if you think about it. Got a tiny Air Force. It's also possible that somebody else got into blue. Maybe they opened Mordenkainen or just felt like it was so open they moved. I'm usually okay with Bar the Gate. Usually okay with Sylvan Shepherd, although I don't really love any of these cards. Probably got enough 2-drops now that I am interested again in the Hand of Vecna. I don't love this in normal blue-green decks. But if I'm going to have 4 2-drops, potentially 5, like there's still another pack. Druid class isn't quite a 2-drop, but you know what I mean. We did wield a Gretchen. So blue-green is open at this table. And you can put Hand of Vecna on this. Gretchen does not have Defender. This is a fine card. Asmodeus is better than that too, but... At some point in the draft, you have to quit complaining about people not valuing the cards the same way you do and just appreciate that they don't. Like, I first picked Asmodeus plenty of times and won the draft. But if the table doesn't think it's good, it doesn't matter how good it actually is. So there's a fly. I'm going to take it. It is not currently in, but if I get a couple more of those Soul Knife Spies, I might play it. Froghemoth is probably something we're interested in. It's a solid card. I shouldn't need something like Contact Other Plane when I've got Gretchen and 2 Investigators. That sort of has the you flooded out, draw some cards things covered. But this is a good frog. You do need a way to get it in, which makes the fly kind of appealing. Right, like you curve out to this on turn 5, it's brutal, but you get the board stalled, all of a sudden it's 5 mana 4/4, and that's considerably less impressive. The haste is relevant. Sometimes you can catch somebody where they're trying to race you or whatever, and it's pretty good at that, right? Like if it connects, you can usually gain some life or make it big. So here's kind of the moment of truth, right? Like I can take the Soul Knife Spy and be comfortable playing the fly, or we could take the Power Word Kill and splash it. I don't think I need the Power Word Kill, which means I kind of want to take the Soul Knife Spy, put the fly in here, and maybe not play You Happen Upon a Glade. Because I feel like if I'm not splashing, I'd rather just not play it. The regrowth aspect can be good. But now I feel like I've got two things I could put fly on that I'm happy about, and in the late game I could potentially just slam it on anything and start connecting. We've got a whole nother pack to find something else to wear it. I guess it is kind of another augmentation tool, but like just throwing it on a druid class or a hill giant herpaderper late game is going to be pretty good. And there's plenty of removal, so we're good to go there. Oh, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. That one hurts a little bit. So we could just jam this dude and call it a dag. This is another great thing to put fly on. I've killed people with Rime Shield Frost Giants with fly on it. Now there's a reason to splash. Holy carp. I can't do it with treasure. I would need to get an Evolving Wilds Light. The problem is it's competing with this Windseer, which just fits perfectly in with what we're already doing. Right? Like, I can take this, cut you happen upon a glade, and our deck looks great. Fine. I'll be the adult. Alright, I'd rather play the other Soul Knife Spy than the Apprentice at this point. Because I've got a pretty decent Air Force. And this gives me, like, real solid things to put fly on. And I think a decent enough creature count. I think I'm okay playing 17 lands with the 2 Clever Conjurers. It might be worth playing 18 and just planning to flood out with this stuff, but I kind of feel like this will be all right. I don't need any of these cards. I'll take a Fate's Reversal. It's possible we could splash it, but I'd probably just jam Glade at that point. Wow, that's a lot of good stuff, eh? I like a lot of these cards. I really like the Basilisk and the Displacer Beast. Man, I kind of want them all. Oh, I can't make up my mind. What if we do this? This looks pretty good to me. I like this dude too. You reckon that's just better than the Frost Giant main deck? Because it's, again, something that's relatively decent to put fly on. And it blocks like a house. I think I could play this. If I decide I want the extra card draw, we can bring that in. I still don't feel like I'm really going to want it when I have the 2 Investigators and Gretchen. Like, I've just got Mana Sinks to draw cards. We'll use those. I don't have to be playing Druid class here either. Like, there's some consideration to just take the Druid class out, because it's going to take a while for it to do its thing. But I think I'll use those as like sideboard flex slots, if you will. If there's something I want to bring in, we can do it there. Let's fix the mana. This is very important. You want to run different copies of each of the lands, because some opponents will get tilted by something like that. And you need to take advantage of every opportunity you can. That's mostly a joke. I don't know why I got in the habit of doing that, but I did, and it kind of makes me happy. All right, let's go party. I tried. I didn't want to draft blue-green. But here we are, drafting blue-green in current year. I'll go first. It's a potentially very good opener. Yet this one might be stupid. We're already going through the dungeon, yo. Yeah, sure, I like lands. There's people that say Hand of Vecna's bad. Can you believe that? Not my opponent, though. They very clearly know what's up. I guess they can't be mad at me murdering them with Hand of Vecna when they're trying to murder me with Hand of Vecna. Fly, you fools! Told you fly might be fun. Alright, so on the draw against them, that type of crap's probably not going to work. So I think I want to take Hand of Vecna out and bring in the Cursed Idol. To make sure that we don't die to theirs. That may seem kind of stupid to cut the card that we just won with, but as you could see here, they had Hand of Vecna on the draw, we had it on the play, and we ranched them, and they dealt some damage to themselves and then died. That is likely what's going to happen the same way, unless they don't draw the hand. And if they don't draw the hand, we're just playing regular Magic, and our card quality is already pretty damn good. So let's set ourselves up to be able to destroy the hand if they draw it. They're also likely playing Minimus Containments. So we're gonna have targets for the Cursed Idol. That's also a deck that would play the hell out of a Druid class and a Cleric class. I think it's the right sideboarding call. That's what I'm trying to say. So let's do it. It's not an exciting opener. It's not really either, but here we are. I don't think I need the Druid class so much as I need to consistently hit land drops. So let's do that and then start hitting some land drops with Gretchen and see where we go. Kind of weird to have a 0-power creature with my Spoils of the Hunt, but here we are. They appear not to have their Hand of Vecna. Sorry for all the gum chewing. I've recently given up nicotine, which has led to me being very interested in chewing gum. I chew a lot of gum. Huge fan of gum now. Didn't used to be. Now I'm like, oh my god, gum. Let's get some gum. All right, I don't like how aggressive I'm having to be here. I guess I'm not having to be that aggressive, am I? Because I can just kill the Treeless Era. They're probably going to chomp here. Okay. Yeah, I don't have to use a removal spell on that. They're just going to kill it, let it die for me. That's almost like drawing a card. if you think about it. Look at all these lands. I got so many of them. Well, I don't need that one, really. I wonder if I'm supposed to give them a weird choice and charm sleep a wolf. I don't think I'm supposed to charm sleep a wolf. I think I'm supposed to charm sleep a ranger and start clocking them for 3 and see if at some point we draw a fly. But I'll give it one more turn. Maybe they'll put a counter on the ranger or something. Just give me that teeny tiny extra little bit of value. Sure. This is also pretty easy to handle from their perspective. I'm trying to be a little cautious. I do have to start working towards closing out the game, but I was trying to be a little cautious because I don't have anything else going on. This is kind of it. I don't think there's a reason for me to be holding lands. This deck doesn't have a, yeah, I should be playing these out. This deck doesn't have like a bag of holding or something. They should be holding a land. Almost assuredly. I don't know that this is ever getting better than trading off for a 2/2 at this point. So, you jump under that bus, buddy. Because I could top deck one of those 2/1 blue dudes and activate it. And presumably trade it off, which would be swell. My money would be, yeah, I think on the Paladin, because I obviously am not blocking the Paladin. They got us on a hell of a clock now. It's not really the draw I needed. I think I'm dead. I don't want to be dead. But that was a bit too much land there. Only really 2 more than them, though, which is saying something. Hunter's Mark's a hell of a card. That time I kind of did want to hit something like Contact Other Plane. That was a really rough draw, though. Like, it was incredibly land heavy, and I think we were kind of depending on Gretchen, which just never really came together, sadly. We're going on the play again, so I'm kind of interested in bringing the hand back. But I'm not sure what to cut. Maybe it's a Conjura. I think I can get behind that. We've got plenty of lands. And the deck's actually on the cheap side as far as casting cost. Works for me. Paladin class. Interesting. I'm classy too. Not that classy. All right, we're getting a free card. But I don't have to do it now. We can continue to develop our board. I'm really good at low rolling on this thing. I think I'd rather just have another draw than the 2-5. That one's not that impressive, because we know we're probably going to pop this next turn. Because they're going to play a creature. We pop it. It's good. I mean, I kind of just want to, like, get that out of the way and draw my cards, because I still don't need to do anything to it. I guess I will just to demoralize them. They drew their rare and I blew it up. It makes me happy. It's not going to do it. That card's not very good. It's bad. Okay, the Paladin's a little annoying. May as well attack with it at this point. I ain't drawing any more cards off of it. It's a weird looking owl. I prefer my cat. Who's a good cat thing? He's right, you are. I don't know if I want to bounce an owl bear. And yet here I am doing it. If they replay that, they're just dead. Feels weird, man. Yeah? I reckon they got something because they didn't play the map, but maybe they didn't want to just announce that they're dead. I don't know. Might have been trying to fake me out. Some people will do that sometimes. But there we have it. Round 1 victory, not too shabby. All right, let's take it out and see what we can do for round 2. I believe I would like to play first. It's not a lovely hand, but, I mean, we can sort of see where it goes. Go better. At least we can answer a couple things if we need to, and we probably need to. Like whatever they ramp into with that. That's pretty swell. That's kind of like giving us a 2-for-1, provided they use that to cast a creature of some sort. It's probably going to get Charmed Sleep. Don't need you attacking and doing the Dar things. I mean, I appreciate where you're going with this, but I believe I said it needed to be asleep. Was I unclear? Okay. Didn't we talk about this? I think we did. I think we talked about this exact scenario. Yeah, I'll take a scry. We don't have anything in hand. But that's not bad. They got me. I was not prepared for that. I'm not actually looking to block the bullet. I suppose they don't know that. I can sort of race it currently then. This is me taking 8 so that I can hit them for not 8. But I'm going to gain the life back. I think this is the right call. If I need to, I can chump block the bloody thing, which I'm not exactly a huge fan of. But I could. I think I like the treasure token and draw the card. This will give us a little bit better idea of what we have to work with next turn, and we can -4 it potentially. Because this will kill them over 2 hits, right? Like, they're at 11. I can, if I need to, ping them for the life. I wonder if you're supposed to chump here. I think I am. I think we found our line, and it's that they are not dealing with this. I see it. I know you have it. Gotta build a good mana base. Eight, 9, 10 wouldn't kill me. Oh, that's satisfying. Destroy target enchantment. Okay. Boop. The Old Hand of Vecna. Okay, so their deck is kind of big stuff and that dragon. We got to watch out for the Rally Maneuver, which I do think is a good card, but now that we know they have it, we can be a hell of a lot more prepared for it. Because it's easier to play around Rally Maneuver when you know that someone has it. Even then, I don't think it got us that much. It just got us a little bit. Druid class is not super impressing me. I would like more things that can deal with that flyer. So I kind of want to take... It feels weird to be doing this on the draw. I don't particularly like that. And yet, I think it's exactly what I want to do. Because they've certainly got things that we'd be interested in countering. And I think I can probably work it in. It's pretty easy to leave something like that up if you've got one of these two that you could activate. I really don't want the Hand of Vecna on the draw, though. That does, again, seem to be not great. We could jam a 2/4 blocker. That seems incredibly medium, but not awful? Question mark. Kind of an ugly hand, but we can try it. That card's quite good. You can double block it. It's a little scary. Because they got a combat trick, you get 2 for 1. Hey, look, they had a combat trick. What's funny is I might have double blocked that the other way. Like, we knew that they had that in the deck, so I'd like to think I would have played around it. But I don't think they should have used the portable hole there. Well, I guess there's really no opportunity for me to block them both, right? Like, that's going to be good for them kind of no matter what I do. Looks like they don't have anything here. Well, I was going to say, or they'd have attacked with this. But maybe I'm just dead, and there was absolutely nothing I could do this game. I feel like this game is kind of playing Candyland. So they're green-white splashing at least 2 rares. Yeah, we're dead. That was fun. I kind of can't imagine coming back from this one. Although there's still kind of a chance, isn't there? Got a green dragon in hand, eh? And likely just scryed a land to the top, did you? Well, that's fine. I can still block it. But how would I kill it? I would need Spoils of the Hunt if I was going to kill it, which means I would probably need this Air Cult Elemental to get rid of that counter. First, I think. He said unsuredly. Okay, this is good news. They're not slamming land into the dragon. Presumably because now they can have more goblins to attack next turn and we're dead anyway and it doesn't matter. But I'm going to try. Meh. Man, how does it feel to make the right play, but have it be the wrong play? I'm asking for a friend. That friend is me. Oh, this is so bad. Okay. Pretty sure we are dead. This would be us taking 2, 4, 6, 8. I don't actually recover from that. I mean, to be fair, I don't recover from any of this. That really felt like I was playing Candyland. I don't like games of Magic that play out like that. Because it felt more like I was watching it happen rather than actively participating in it. I can get irritated when games go like that, and some of them do, and that is a part of Magic that I believe that one must just accept, that some number of your games of Limited are going to be Candyland. Just this opponent had the right number of lands and spells and you didn't. I felt like that one was more so than accepting that like Mana Flood and Screw is a part of the game, and more accepting that these days there's just some draws that you can't beat. Like that one. I wasn't beating that draw. It was too much, man. That said, their mana base looks arguably looks interesting. Let's say that it looks interesting, which means it's conceivable that we could get some value there. I actually want the other flyer, I think. Let's give that a go. Would like to play first, and relatively happy with this start. I'm with you so far, little arcane investigator. Why not have a dragon? I like dragons. You like dragons. We all like dragons. Now let's scry to that land. No, not you. I need land. It's not a land. I have a feeling they're going to kill one of these. Although maybe they just like making bad attacks. Because that was not a great attack. That's kind of a cute little fox, dog, cat thing. That's probably rally maneuver, which is fine. If they fire it off here, I can fight Nadar on the way back. Oh shoot! It has a frickin' ward. I forgot about it. Well, don't you feel dumb, Travis? Kinda? Kinda? I do, yeah. I would say that I do. But if you think about it, I'm secretly preparing them. I mean, I guess I had to draw a land at some point, eh? So at least in this matchup, whereas before I was complaining about not feeling like I had agency, here I just didn't draw land. Which is fine. Sometimes you don't draw land. It sucks. We're mostly dead here. If they're scared to attack with an Adar, and I get to activate this, I might be able to do something. Why did that thing have to have Ward 1? What a stupid mechanic. Old man complains about card game. News at 11. Fly, you fool. So that could conceivably get me in for 5 damage, but that's not enough. Because I'd need to be able to deal 6 next turn. Which I could do if I activate this, draw an island. No, I'd be dead. That's the problem. That's why you can't do that, Travis. Well, this gets me a treasure token, right? But again, I would be taking 5, 6, 7. That's not going to work. That's just not going to work. Why do I think I still have a chance in this game? I don't actually think that I do. I probably don't, and I may just be seeing it incorrectly. But it's like, you know, if they could just have nothing this turn, right? A second rally maneuver is pretty devastating. That one's not good. So I can gain 4 life if I hit non-creatures, but there aren't any. So I can gain 2 life, which is really not enough. So I think we'd be just dead. Which is a real shame. There's the bar the gate right on time. So this could give that -4, -0. And we could gain 2 life. So we'd be at 6. That has ward though, so we can't do that. We'd be at 6 taking 6. That's not going to work for me. If this didn't have ward 1, I guess the ward 1 is only a problem because we're not hitting lands. So kind of need to just let this one go. These mechanics exist so that people who are not very good at Magic can beat me on occasion. I was so close to being able to kill them. Two bloody rally maneuvers. All right. If I chump the flyer and gain 2, I would be taking 5. If I can actually do this, I suspect it still probably kills me. But I just can't give up. It's not in my nature. Because I still can't draw anything that does anything. I hate Lucen. Come on, put me out of my misery. Or don't. I'm not your dad. Where am I supposed to find this last point of damage from? Because with this attack, I have to block this way. I would need to find... Okay. I'm not going to find it. We're finally dead. That was brutal. Because I felt like we had one game and I won it. But like I said, and understand as I talk some, like I speak in hyperbole and I probably sound really cocky. I don't think I'm the best Magic player on the planet. I do think I'm pretty dang good at limited. I do also think that like the balance of lands and spells is something that is set up so that less good players can win sometimes. And sometimes that's me. I think I've beaten players who are better than me in the past, and I will probably do so again. It's frustrating to be on the bad end of variance twice when it's two different kinds of variance. One is, okay, they had the nut draw. The second one is, I didn't draw any lands. That's not exactly fun. And I do think that's, to an extent, a design flaw within Magic. Like, you really can't go back and change it. You can design new games without it. Like, Hearthstone doesn't use a similar mana system predominantly for that reason. And I love getting in arguments with people on my stream, so maybe I can start one here too, in that people will say Hearthstone is too random, and I'm like, it's not any more random than Magic. Because that randomness of lands will get you. Now, let's move on to something different to complain about, because I'm looking at a character that has 3 fingers and a thumb and is playing a lute. Now, I play mandolin. I say I play mandolin. I used to play mandolin. I probably couldn't anymore. It's been 10 years since I've looked at one. I don't think I could do it with 3 fingers and a thumb. I postulate that that Dragon Bard is a scam. Full of tomfoolery and silliness and shenanigans. It's probably got recorded music that someone else played. They got me. Express yourself through emotes. It's important. All right, fine. If we're just going to kill everything, I can do that too. That's the white dragon. Those are cool looking sleeves. I think I have those. I didn't know I had those. All right, drawing lands. We're getting there. We got our cards back, more or less, and might still be, like, halfway still in this. Depends on if they've got, like, a Grim Bounty for this or not. Another Manticore would probably do it, too. I mean, I dig 2 for 1 in yourself to get rid of it. We might still sort of be playing Magic. I'm not saying definitely. I'm saying maybe. So they kind of have to trade 2 things for this. I wouldn't say this is ideal, but we'd rather them trade things on our turn than theirs. Because this means they're not getting any exploration venture triggers with this dude. I can use this to kill the demon when they finally get it. I'm not really looking for a 2-drop right now. I do have a plan to stabilize from here. Although I think they've drawn another Manticore, which makes it a little more difficult. They're certainly playing like they have. Okay, that's not a big deal. Yeah, let's just not deal with this zombie ogre anymore, and then I don't have to worry about the creepy thing. Everything's fine. I'm looking at your treasure token. That's what I'm looking at. You can look at all this stuff, but I'm looking at your treasure token. Because it's a pretty treasure token. Why wouldn't I be looking at it? I feel pretty comfortable now. We could even conceivably, well, I was going to say we could conceivably beat a Reaper's Talisman. Probably not now, but was a good feeling of security there for like 2 seconds. I think I liked it. I'm still just looking at your treasure. I see that you have one. I do need to play around an act of treason for one more turn. Maybe a bit longer. Because my life total will be low. It is nice to have a removal spell up, though. I like that at least. Okay. Nice to not be dead. I like that part. But we're still kind of hurting here. I think they thought they had me with the Beholder, but they didn't. Hand of Vecna, slowly getting there. Am I going to run out of cards? Yeah, I got 4 cards left. I have to try to find a way to kill them. And it kind of has to be in the air. So right now we would be chumping that and blocking 2 of these and going to 1. So I don't know that attacking for 3 does anything here. I can't draw any more cards with Gretchen. I need to try to kill him over 2 turns, I guess. I guess they've had enough. Okay, it would appear they've had enough. Funny, if I'd played that Bloody Land, we could draw ourselves out of cards and hit this Null Hunter and kill them. Okay, so what went wrong there? It's hard to say. It felt like the deck just was bad, was actively bad. We drew a lot of cards, but couldn't do anything. I guess I had to block with the flyers is kind of what went wrong there. And they were pretty aggressive. And had some good stuff, like the Baleful Beholder's good. The Power Word Kill was pretty good. We didn't see really anything that we would want to hit with our Cursed Idol. And ramping doesn't seem that great. So we can probably bring in like another way to deal some damage in the early game. And potentially the counterspell or just another solid blocker if we want it. But I think I might like to try the Bar the Gate again. That card's growing on me a little bit. All right. This has got some Bar the Gate energy. We're probably barring a cheeseburger. Maybe not. Hey, we got value out of Bar the Gate. What do you know? All right, fine. You do what you got to do. So what's our best value from this? They're at 14, which is an even life total. I think it's probably to look for something good with the scry. Oh, sorry, Vecna. Today is not your day. So perhaps the real lesson was that Hand of Vecna is as bad as the podcast gods say it is. I still feel like we kind of have to race them. I don't know that that's going to work out. That Gorgon's Clutches was bloody brutal. That was pretty good too. Although I suppose when I draw 7 lands and my opponent draws 3, they're going to have more action. This is kind of a fitting goodbye to AFR. I've had some really good drafts in Adventures in Forgotten Realms. We've had some fun times. This wasn't one of them. And I think that may be one of the legitimate challenges with the format, is that the wins don't feel that good, but the losses feel really bad. Come by the stream and let me know what your thoughts are on AFR. Has it been a lot of fun? Have you really enjoyed it? Do you think it's been terrible? And what do you think of that theory? We're keeping this just in case we draw our fight spell, and we could potentially fight that and keep playing, but I think we have reached game over, man. But I think that's kind of where I've ended up on AFR, is the wins didn't feel good enough to justify how bad the losses felt, because that didn't feel good. That didn't feel good. That said, I am generally up gems in this set and have had a good time with it. I think we were at like 20,000 a week or so ago. So it's been moving steadily up, but it also shows that like just a decent win rate in a format isn't really enough to make it great. So sorry we couldn't get you the 3-0, but hopefully you got to see the ups and downs. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you again to Fossifos for taking care of us and sponsoring this draft. Y'all come by the stream and say hello. I'll catch you next week. Be kind and be cool. Adios.